Stop. Whatever you are doing to manifest money, stop. Not because manifestation is not real, not because the principles are wrong, because the direction you are doing it in is backwards. And nobody, not one course, not one book, not one teacher who has ever taught you about the law of attraction has ever told you this. Carl Jung discovered something in 1912 that should have ended the manifestation industry before it ever began. He discovered that the harder you try to attract something you feel separated from, the more you confirm the separation. The trying is the problem. The wanting is the signal. The reaching is the frequency. And every single manifesting practice built around the act of trying to attract something is broadcasting the signal of someone who does not have what they are trying to attract. If this sounds wrong, good. Stay with that discomfort, because what I am about to show you is the mechanism Jung documented that makes this not only true, but the most important thing you will ever understand about money and the mind. Subscribe to Hermetic Mind and comment below. How long have you been actively trying to manifest money? Months? Years? Decades? Your answer matters more than you know, and by the end of this video, you will understand exactly why. Let me tell you about two people. They have identical circumstances, same income, same debt, same opportunities, same access to the same manifestation practices. Person A has been visualizing wealth for 3 years. She meditates every morning, she says her affirmations, she feels genuine gratitude, she believes in the process completely. Person B does none of this. No morning practice, no affirmations, no active effort to manifest anything. And yet, after 3 years, Person B is measurably wealthier than Person A. This happens more than anyone in the manifestation community wants to admit, and Jung explained exactly why. Not because Person B is smarter, not because Person B got lucky, because Person B is operating from a fundamentally different relationship to the concept of having. Person A is trying to have. Person B simply has. Not the money yet, the identity. And the identity is what the universe has always responded to. Not the trying, the being. This distinction between trying to have and simply being someone who has is the most important distinction in the entire field of abundance psychology. And it is the one nobody explains with the precision it actually requires. Jung called it the difference between the ego and the self. This is not abstract philosophy. This is the most practical thing he ever documented. The ego is the part of you that experiences itself as separate from what it wants, separate from what it believes others have, separate from the life it is trying to build. And because the ego experiences separation, it tries, it works, it visualizes, it affirms, it reaches. Every single day, the ego doing its best to close the gap between where it is and where it wants to be. And the universe, which Hermetic philosophy has always described as a perfect mirror, receives the signal of the gap, not the intention to close it, the gap itself. More separation, more trying, more confirming that what you want is somewhere other than where you are. The self in Jung's framework operates from a completely different experience. The self does not experience separation because the self understands at a level that is not cognitive but fundamental that what you are seeking is already within the field of who you are. Not in your bank account, in your frequency, in the signal you broadcast before you have thought a single conscious thought. When you operate from the self, you do not try to manifest wealth. You recognize that wealth is the natural expression of a consciousness in alignment with itself. And the recognition produces the manifestation, not the other way around. This is where most people get it completely wrong. They treat manifestation as a cause that produces abundance as an effect. Do the practice, receive the result. Try hard enough, attract the thing.
Want it purely enough, and it will come. Jung inverted this entirely. He said the abundance is not the effect, it is the symptom. The symptom of a consciousness that has done the inner work of genuine alignment. Not performed alignment, not intended alignment. The genuine, embodied, undeniable alignment of a person who has stopped experiencing themselves as separate from what they are calling into existence. This is why he spent his entire career focused not on what people should want, but on who people actually are beneath the surface of what they want. Because the wanting is never the starting point, the being is the starting point. And until the being changes, the wanting is just noise. Expensive, practiced, genuinely committed noise, broadcasting the frequency of someone who is still standing outside what they are asking to enter. Here is the analogy that will make this permanent in how you understand manifestation forever. Imagine a river. On one bank, you. On the other bank, wealth. Every manifestation practice you have ever used is a way of trying to build a bridge. Visualizing the bridge, affirming that the bridge exists, being grateful for the bridge, meditating on what it will feel like to finally cross the bridge. And yet, the river remains, the gap remains, the distance between you and what you want remains. Because the bridge-building activity, however sincere, is confirming that you are on one side and wealth is on the other. Jung's answer was not to build a better bridge. It was to understand that the river is not in the external world, it is in the mind. The separation is psychological, the gap is a belief. The distance is a construct of a consciousness that has been conditioned to experience itself as separate from abundance. And you cannot bridge a psychological river with external techniques. You can only dissolve it by doing the inner work that changes the mind that created it. That is what Jung meant when he said the most important journey a human being can make is the journey inward. Not as philosophy, as practical instruction for dismantling the psychological architecture that is generating the external limitation. So what does that inner work actually look like? Not in theory, in practice, today, this week. Jung called it individuation, the process of becoming whole, of integrating every part of yourself you have rejected, suppressed, or decided was incompatible with who you are. And here is why this is directly financial. The parts of yourself you have rejected are generating a counter-frequency. The ambition you were told was arrogant, the desire for more that you were told was greedy, the belief in your own worth that you were told was presumptuous. Every quality that was shut down in you, every version of yourself you were taught to disown, is still inside you, compressed, running as a counter-signal. Telling the universe, I want this, but I am not the kind of person who gets to have it. That counter-signal is the block, not your techniques, not your effort, not the quality of your visualization. The rejected self is continuously broadcasting that what you desire belongs to someone else. And the universe, faithful mirror that it is, receives the loudest signal. The integration of the rejected self, the deliberate, honest, often uncomfortable process of owning every part of yourself you have suppressed, is not personal growth work that happens to improve your finances. It is the direct dissolution of the counter-frequency that is blocking the very thing you have been trying to manifest. The practical shift. For the next week, not a meditation practice, not an affirmation routine, one question, every morning before you do anything else. What version of me am I not allowed to be? Not what do I want to have, not what life do I want to live. Who am I not allowing myself to be? Because the financial reality you want belongs to a version of you that you have not yet given yourself permission to inhabit. Not because you lack skill, not because you lack opportunity, because somewhere in the architecture of who you were told to be, the version of you that simply has was deemed too much, too ambitious, too wanting, too unlike the people around you. The question locates that version, and the willingness to locate it, to see it clearly, to stop pretending it is not there, to begin the process of giving it permission to exist, is the beginning of the inner work that Jung was pointing towards when he said, "Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life, and you will call it fate." This is not fate. This is a rejected self running a countersignal to the financial reality you have been trying to manifest from the outside in. The work is inside out. Always was, always will be. Stop trying to manifest money. Start giving yourself permission to be the person who has always been allowed to have it. The distance between those two positions, between trying and allowing, is not measured in time. It is not measured in practice. It is measured in honesty. The honesty to look at what you have been rejecting, the courage to claim it, the willingness